Some of my fondest memories were as a child traveling from Dallas, Texas down to the furthest point you can basically get to in southwest Texas, something right out of a Louis L'Amour novel, Big Bend, Texas. It's a conflagration of different chains of mountain ranges that come together, and right in the middle of it runs the Rio Grande River. Some of the towns that are 20, 30 miles away from the entrance only have about 100 or so people living in their town. In fact, one town famously has elected and re-elected a beer-drinking goat as their mayor. And I wanted to go down to Big Bend to see how it had changed since I was a child and since I had last been there about 20 years ago in college. And boy, has it changed. Just like other areas all over the Southwest into Texas, they've got Border Patrol checkpoints of up to 100 miles inside the United States. And I've noticed the Border Patrol normally wants to just inspect citizens and leaves the illegals alone. Now, at one point, I went to a gorgeous spot in Big Bend, right on the Rio Grande, and Mexico is just right across the river, where there was a resort about 80 years ago where people came and visited the amazing hot springs. And you could see illegals, the 2 times we went there over the weekend, just coming and going back and forth across the border. And I talked to some of the locals. They said if you camp out there at night, sometimes hundreds of people rush across and are picked up by the coyotes, or the people smugglers, as they're called. Here we are in Big Bend on the U.S.-Mexico border. There's the Rio Grande River. And the Mexicans just pass at will. We were out here at night last night when we were leaving, and there were just dozens of people going back and forth. Hi. Pretty friendly folks. And it was just incredible to then see the Border Patrol helping, and we didn't get footage of this because we just wanted to get out of there, searching the U.S. citizens that had come down there to drink Coors Light and throw footballs, back and forth to each other across the river, and to be writing tickets and arresting people for drinking a couple beers while illegal aliens crossed at will. They were friendly. On horseback and back across, and as coyotes ferried people back and forth across, even on canoes. We even ran into one fella who was singing songs from across the border if you'd give $5 to his compadre. Big Bend is one of the least visited national parks because it's a good 300 miles from even San Antonio. So there aren't any big cities for a long, long way. And it's the same story on the Mexico side. When we came through the internal checkpoint about 75 miles from Big Bend inside the United States, I informed the Border Patrol that if they tried to have us go over to the secondary area, as routinely happens when I go down to South Padre with my family to the beach, that I was going to get out and interview them about Fast and Furious. We're driving up to the checkpoint about, 70 miles from the Texas border, right, Richard?
I guess so, roughly about 70, 80 miles.
And we like to go down to South Padre, but we noticed they just let all the other 18-wheelers and stuff through, but they always want to pull us aside. Now, we've never been through this, or at least since I was a teenager, I haven't been through these internal checkpoints down by Big Bend. So we are going to see what happens. We're going to declare that obviously we haven't been down to Mexico. We don't have anything to declare. But we've noticed this is really used just to go after citizens. In fact, we saw Border Patrol assisting park rangers at Big Bend in bugging the hell out of people who were drinking beer down on the border on the Rio Grande. And so, and of course, they also are looking for drugs constantly, something that the government itself has been caught bringing in. There's just a big report out about the Border Patrol with unprecedented corruption. So this is their big prize right here. And I am planning to talk to them about a whole bunch of different issues as soon as we get off and have a chance to talk to them. So that is my main.
There's another immigrant searching dogs.
Yep, there's another immigrant searching dogs. It's really for U.S. citizens. Here we go.
How you doing?
Coming into vehicle?
6.
6, everybody U.S. citizens?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay, where are you coming from?
We went down to Big Bend with the family.
What are you doing, sir? Us.
I'm videotaping. I'm Alex Jones, man. You guys are videotaping us
Videotaping with what?
with my phone right here.
But we're videotaping you?
Of course you are.
Where's that?
There's
So
one
you're going to
camera
pretend
over
you don't have cameras watching us? I mean, that's like a joke, man.
So how was your trip down there?
It was awesome. It was awesome. Hey, I wanted to talk to you guys. I hoped you pulled us over to the secondary area because I wanted to ask about Fast and Furious and Obama shipping guns into Mexico and why you guys aren't trying to investigate him.
No comment. You have a good one, gentlemen.
Okay, you too, man. Have a good one. Well, every time I've drove through these checkpoints, they want to search me. This was the magic phrase: government running a false flag by shipping tens of thousands of guns into Mexico to demonize and try to ban the Second Amendment. And so they said I could go ahead and go on my way. So there you go. They do not want to be interviewed about the government staging an event. And of course, my father, who was with us, wanted to add that he saw a scanner that looks for radioactive material, and he pointed out the Border Patrol is, quote, doing some good. Absolutely. I'm not enemies with the Border Patrol. One of the few things the feds can do constitutionally is coin the money, have a Navy, and protect the border. Dad, tell us what a proton detector is, what you saw back there.
It's basically a magnetic grid device that detects heavy particles that go through it, so that they actually were looking to detect somebody bringing radiologicals through it.
Exactly. No. The Border Patrol serves some real functions. We don't want them to sit there like we saw and assist the regular police and others in harassing folks from drinking beer on the Rio Grande. See my point?
That was a heavy particle detector, so they're doing some good work.
No, I understand. So you saw the heavy particle detector down there. I saw Border Patrol aiding park rangers in writing tickets and harassing people who were drinking beer there on the side of the Rio Grande. And I'm sick and tired of the nanny state engaging in these type of activities. I've got to say it. I've been in the Rockies. I've been in the Appalachians, the Smokies. I've been in mountains all over North America and in Mexico. But the way the Chizos and other mountain ranges come together in Big Bend is absolutely gorgeous. And some of these time lapses that Rob Dew from InfoWars that went on the trip with us got are simply amazing. So our fact-finding mission discovered that Big Bend is still just as gorgeous as ever, and that the Border Patrol has intensified its presence, but unfortunately just isn't even allowed to stop the illegal aliens. And if they do stop them, it's on record that Obama simply gives them a green card and points them to the latest polling place so they can vote to take the Second Amendment away from the United States and disarm the American people like the Mexican people have sadly been disarmed in Mexico as well. And remember, Mexico has had all of their guns taken. They've had all of their firearms taken in the last 30 years. They have the highest crime rate in the world. Over 55,000 people killed in just the last 6 years because only the criminals and the criminal government has the guns. On our way back through West Texas to Austin in Central Texas, we came across Boone Pickens' boondoggle. Hundreds and hundreds of derelict windmills just sitting out in the middle of nowhere, rusting. But that's what happens under the whole fake green energy initiative. Well, that's the Infowars.com visit to Big Bend in 2013. We figured we better see the parks because all over the United States, they're restricting human access and even telling people they can't get in the water at national parks. In fact, I went to the National Seashore in Texas in 2012, where I've been going since I was a small child, and was harassed over and over and over again by the park rangers asking us questions and asking us if we were criminals while we sat there in lawn chairs. So again, you better visit the national parks before the environmentalist control freaks kick you off of them.
Corazones